Good morning, SmoknConvos. Yes, my note is getting better and better. Good morning, my SmoknConvos people. On this happy Friday. What are we doing this Friday? Shoot. Friday is happy hour. Friday is payday for most people. Friday is just Friday. In New York, it's very beautiful here. The sky is blue. I hope the sky is blue wherever you are on this planet Earth. But I'm extra happy, as you can tell. You know why? Because I got one of my hosts, one of the three. I told you I'm going to bring them back, slowly but surely. One of the three, okay? You had Evangeline. You had, a.k.a. C, Miss Caroline. Today, you got one of the most beautiful sisters on this planet. She had a beautiful baby girl, which is my niece. I just love her. Okay? Incoming! Miss Hafiza, girl. How you been,
Oh my
girl?
God, I can't believe I'm here today. Thank you for the introduction, Kim.
You welcome.
And stop playing like you don't have a nickname already for you. Because you do not say that. You already have a name and titles for her.
Okay. Feezy is in the house. My girl Feezy. Feezy, you have been missed by our audience, by our fans. You've been missed, sis. All of y'all been missed, but y'all been missed. Seriously.
I definitely miss just talking and gabbing. Most definitely. Being a new-time mom,
Yeah.
very time-consuming.
Yes. How's it going, though? Like, how's it going? New mommyhood and everything. Can you share a little bit?
I love it. I'm not
Good.
gonna lie. Most people always focus on the part of like you're not gonna have enough sleep and all of that. But honestly, I will say I'm lucky enough where like even if I'm someone who has 2 hours of sleep, I don't get moody that much.
Mm-hmm.
So like even if I'm up feeding her right now, like continuously, like I still have a smile on my face doing it. So, but it definitely helps because I have my husband around. Huge help, definitely helps me at night with stuff. And single moms out there, honestly, y'all deserve like gold, like serious solid gold for life. Cause I don't know how you guys do it by yourselves. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Because I'm part of the single mom tribe, and yeah, thank you. It's much appreciated.
No, yeah, because honestly, it's so much work, and then doing it on your own, you don't, like, even if you want to go to the bathroom, just having someone in the house with you, like, watching your kid just to, like, go pee is, like, such a reliever.
And it's good for the mental, too, because sometimes you want to clear your head, because as a mom, you got to give it your all. You know, you giving your whole, your heart, your mind, and you need to be strong when you dealing and bonding with your children. You know, so you gotta be good.
No, yeah,
too.
definitely. No, my one little qualm with my kid is like, yo, you put me through 20 hours of labor, got to be induced, all of the above, and you don't even look a little bit like me? Like, come on, girl.
Eventually she will, sis.
I was like, come on, girl. You gonna take everything after your dad? My family goes, you have to have another kid, because right now she's not taking anything from my side. I was like, she got her hair texture. That seems to be the only thing.
Oh, she is. Watch. And you know what, too? The characters. Like, they're going to pick up certain personalities, rather, from you and her dad. You know, watch how it goes. And watch how it blends. It's amazing. It was time.
Right now, I don't see a blend. Right now, all I see is winning in everything she does.
She's so cute, though. She is beautiful. She is beautiful. God bless her. God bless you and your husband with her. You know, it's gonna be a good experience. It's gonna be a good
Most
experience.
definitely. For the audience who doesn't know, like, I'm Bengali,
Yes.
and my husband is African American, so like that in itself is a pretty rare like blend to see usually. So it's been she's definitely taken both of our features in a lot of ways that way. So I don't know where she's leaning yet, but she's a chameleon.
And funny, she's already developing the comedian side. You know what I mean? I love it.
She already got fan clubs, man. This is why, like, I don't want to put her on any kind of like social media stuff because I'm just like, I want to leave her how she is.
Let me ask you a question though. Shout out to Max and Maya. Max and Maya, check her out because she's amazing. She used to have her Maya used to have her own podcast, not podcast, but she used to have her own YouTube channel, right? And then she got married to Max. So now they have a YouTube channel showing them raising their daughter, their beautiful daughter. So my question to you is, would you and your husband consider ever doing a YouTube channel?
We definitely have it in the talks for that. I'm actually, funny enough, supposed to be, it should be out by the time this video goes up, or like we're gonna have a video of our wedding, basically, on our channel. And, I don't know what I'm titling it yet, but, if you look under, it would be, I guess the title of the channel would be Bengali and Black USA. And then just see from there, like, the first video should be our wedding video.
Nice. And we will be promoting that channel on this channel, SmoknConvos. Yes, we are building, hunty, with these channels now. Like, come on. It's going to be a network. Like, let's go. Oh, that's good news. So we will keep y'all updated on...
I just want to have a platform for... just for people to understand that, yes, like, you can be from a culture that's in Asia. It doesn't mean you necessarily have to marry within your culture. It's okay to look outside your culture. And it's very much possible, like me, for someone to be Muslim and Bengali and not marry within my culture, and still find someone who is outside of my culture who ended up converting and becoming Muslim on their own will, not because of me. And then just maintaining life from them, and people actually accepting both of us in our family, because I know a lot of people have that fear. So I just want to bring transparency and like just a platform for that.
Yes, and then they're gonna show. It's, like we always talked about that season with our audience about pros and cons and everything, right? And there's challenges that you will come up against, but your love for each other stands the test of time. So, and love is stronger than those challenges, in my opinion. So love, you could get through anything with love, So,
no, I agree with you. And if my thing helps someone else, maybe like who's afraid to go against the norm, to come to a decision and be like, oh, they were able to do it, and it was like a bright spot in their lives, regardless of the difficulties getting there, then I feel like I had done a service to someone then.
Right. Well, I'm excited. That our network is growing. And I'm thrilled, and I'm happy, and the audience is happy for you, your husband, and the new addition. She's so good.
Oh, thanks, Kim.
You're welcome.
But this really just goes into the topic we're going to talk about today, though.
Oh. Now, I was briefing our people, sis, on the Reesa Tessa story. She's viral on TikTok. Okay, she went viral. She went viral actually on all media platforms right now.
It makes sense because she's a good storyteller, the way she speaks, and very candid. It's not like she's trying. It just sounds like she's giving an account of what she went through.
Yes, and her flow. Notice her flow, y'all. Don't assume. Don't look at what she's saying. I always say, look at a person, and I had to practice that myself. But look at how the person is telling their own truth. Before you say somebody is lying, look how she's telling the story. Look how she's being consistent.
And her cadence doesn't fluctuate as she's speaking.
It is.
No, I really appreciate the way she like took time out to do it.
Yeah.
I will say certain parts I felt like it was kind of it was like using up time that could have been cut.
Right.
Like where it was like each episode, like that's what killed me was how long it took me to listen to the audio of it all.
Right.
Because I got through part 1 and part 2. I'm gonna listen to part 3 probably later today.
Right. I was up to part 31. I managed to get to 31. Like I told y'all, life be lifing for all of us, right, Feezy? Like,
yeah.
You know, job, work, school, you name it, it's been lifing, right? Building this, continuously building this podcast, building the network. You see, Feezy about to do her own channel as well, and try to, you know, come over here to SmoknConvos as well. So we're gonna be busy. Life is lifing. It's all right. But we wanted to tell this story because it fit right along the guidelines of what we're, you know, representing, which is mental health, right? And
most definitely, Kimberly.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this. I had an episode before that we talked about social media and telling your business on social media, right?
Oh my God, my biggest pet peeve.
Right.
Move silently, people. Stop putting out exclamation marks and everything you do, and then you wonder why people want your shit.
Right. And you wondering why people coming at you negatively. They want to be more, they ultra critical, and we can tend to do that. We humans. It's like, let's be for real with it, okay? We looked at this, right? And I'm quite sure most of us have looked at this, okay?
I wouldn't have known unless you told me because I'm not a TikTok person. That's
right.
how you know I'm a recluse.
Right, but when I started seeing it spread beyond TikTok, I was like, oh, this shit is crazy. You know, I have to look at it because I'm like, yo, this is going the distance, you know? And I get the reason. I'm gonna try to say this in my opinion, because y'all know y'all probably gonna come up to me and say, Kim, but you said keep your business to yourself. In this case, I'm gonna say this. It's what you put out there. Now, she didn't have to detail it this way, but I think the reason why she did it was because y'all probably wouldn't even believe her, you know, in her defense. Y'all probably wouldn't have believed her.
I think that's also because, not to cut you off. I also think it's probably because it's hard to tell if someone is a narcissist.
Right.
So I think because she's telling it from like the beginning to what's happening step by step, like if someone else is going through it,
right,
they could be like, oh shit, that's a red flag.
Right.
And be like, oh, you know, like maybe I should double check on that. So I do appreciate the way she did it. So like if someone is like, oh, I can't tell if he's being serious or, you know, he's being fake, maybe her recollection of everything will help that person.
That's what I was going to say. I'm going to piggyback off of you, Phoebe. Yeah, she's trying to tell you step by step what to look out for. She's actually helping people out here. And to be honest, I'm not talking about looks, and I'm going to get to that too. With the looks and the weight and the fat shaming, it got to come to a stop. That got to come to a stop.
Oh, my God. I hate all of that. You know, and it resonates more for me because I worked in a facility for people who have body dysmorphia. So it's like when I hear people like just comment on someone on their body shape, like that really kills me because A, you have no idea why they are the way they are. You have also, you don't even know if they've been working out harder than you and they've been on a diet longer than you and they just can't get off the weight. Isn't that why people are on Ozempic and all these things?
It is.
It wouldn't be as popular as it is if that isn't that a reality of what the world is like.
according to People magazine, funny you said that. I want to piggyback off of that. Check it out. It's an article. It's noted. Fair use. I want to put it out there. Okay, protection straight across the board. Oprah Winfrey is stepping down from being the chairperson or head of the board of Weight Watchers.
Weight Watchers, right? Yeah.
And that's because she did use the Ozempic to lose weight. So,
I think they're asking her to step down primarily because she denied it for so long.
Right. So my thing is that, and I guess she don't want them to think, oh wow, Weight Watchers do you like that? But no, she had assistance with that. You understand? So that's one way of looking at it. You know,
well, I have a lot to say on this specific topic.
That's another.
When it comes to
that's another. We could talk about that.
No, we'll get into that on a different episode because I've seen from personal experience 2 individuals, I won't name them, that I know close and personal who are on these types of drugs and like the struggles that they're going through right now because of it.
And I mean, I remember I had a conversation, God bless, my grandmother, okay? And my grandmother said that sometimes us as humans, she's a wise lady, we make things so complicated, and it does not need to be complicated, okay? Back in the day, they didn't have all this. They really didn't. They didn't have this BBL. They didn't have none of that. They had corsets where right after you have a baby, they bring you in, your waist is snatched. They did everything.
And that's what I be doing right now.
Exactly. And I got a weight trainer too. I'm going to shout her out next. You know, when we get to the point about talk about our physical health and stuff. But it straightens up your back. It makes your stomach snatched in. And it's what you eat. It's your diet and it's your stress level. You know, sometimes, you know, we do things because we want to see things happen quickly, and that's just we all humans, we do that. I do it sometimes too, and let me tell y'all something, sidebar, you know, Feezy and my other people that's very close to me slow me down sometimes. Like I told y'all, I wanted it boom, bang, boom. I want light, camera, action, real quick. You know, but you gotta realize that life ain't like that. You have to enjoy the journey and enjoy and be patient. You know, be patient as you grow. You know, little by little, celebrate the small wins. You know, because eventually you're gonna get to the big win, but always celebrate the small wins. Because if you don't, and you don't learn from the small, you know, the mistakes that you make along the way to the actual big win, okay? You would not benefit from it. You would not appreciate it, you know?
But I also want to piggyback off what you're saying and just let people know, like, this is my PSA to everyone. Your value is not based on your body shape.
No, it's not.
Let me say that again. Your value is not based on your body shape.
No.
Everyone is shaped differently. God made you all differently. That's what makes you unique, and that's why everyone eventually finds their own person. No one looks the same.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be all valued on what you look like outside, but the part that keeps you all together is what's going on inside.
Right. And just do it the right way. You understand? Like, I know there's no right way or wrong way to things in life. Let's put that out there. But just do it what I mean by right way, not hurting yourself while doing that, while losing weight.
Yeah, do what's comfortable for you. What works for you might not work for someone else, and that's okay.
And if she who knows, she may want to stay the way she is. Ain't none of your business, but don't come after somebody and fat shame them and say that, oh, the reason why she's having issues like this is based off the way she look and the way her body size is.
I hate that. Especially what she said in the video, that part too. Oh my God.
Oh, I was
like, who had the nerve to say that?
I was steaming. I was like, yo, who the fuck is you to, excuse my language, but I'm sorry. Who the hell are you to say something like that? Have you looked in the mirror? Because the way I see it is...
If you don't know what Tim is saying, if you watch the videos, you'll see that Reese says in the video, like when she's explaining one of those pause videos,
right,
that someone commented and said, like, how could you believe that your husband was a VP person because of the way you look? Why would he get with someone who looks like you?
Wow.
And I was just like, first of all, and I'm not even going to say excuse me for this because it's a reality. You're a fucking cockhead. Do you hear me? Whoever you are, you're a cockhead. And the reason for that is because if you were smart, you would realize that people who actually have money don't go for the bimbos who look a certain way. Because then there's no substance.
Nope.
That's why they get divorced from people like that.
Right.
People who actually have character inside of them are the ones who actually last with people.
Right. Right.
I'm just like, y'all the losers for that statement right there.
And I'm going to say he's a loser too. And I'm going to say her ex-husband is a major L. He needs to take that L and just hold that shit. Okay? And go get some help. What he thought was, she's a big girl and she got low self-esteem. So I could, it's like a narcissist at his finest, a manipulator at his finest. Because he was a master manipulator. Okay?
He definitely was.
Yeah. Talk about it.
Oh my God, we gotta break it down slowly though.
Come on.
Let's first give a general of what part 1 is. I think part 1 is up to what? Episode 15, right?
Right. Sure. Let's go. Hit it.
Okay, so for people who don't know, up to episode 15, it's basically her giving like a prequel to the book of like how it was leading up to the main event.
Mm-hmm.
So the main event is basically her trying to explain to people like she got married to a narcissist who was a pathological liar. So what we hear in part 1 is her basically talking about the story of like how they met and how she was saying how originally that they met through like a Facebook, I think, dating thing. Yeah. She was saying.
Yeah. And Hinge.
No, go ahead, Kim. Keep going. I'm gonna
pick it back off of you. And Hinge, because it was Facebook. And remember, she said that they matched. They matched also on Hinge. Yeah. All right, go ahead, sis. Go take it. Go.
And then she was saying how they were supposed to meet, and he was originally said he was from California. So then he ended up relocating to Georgia, where she lives, and they ended up, I believe, scheduling a date together. Mm-hmm. I think she was saying like the Cheesecake Factory. Mm-hmm. And she ends up going there, but ends up having like car issues or something, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then he ends up meeting her where she's having car issues, and he changes her tire and like buys her a whole new like tire. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure from a female point of view, like that's like, oh, nobody does that anymore. Right. So that's how she felt. They ended up, so they ended up going on a date, and she was saying how like he basically was spewing his whole life story.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question, because I explained that part to the audience. I broke them in a little bit, what you just was telling them, giving them the prequel. What do you think about him? You just met this lady in March. You don't know.
No, that for me doesn't give me a red flag, because some people like feel comfortable enough to say that on a first meeting.
At this point, I'm going to say this is not a one-size-fits-all. Because I'm not going to tell you on mine.
No, I definitely wouldn't. But it also, I feel like for a female, maybe that just applies to me. Yeah. But like, I feel like for a female point of view, like when a guy decides to be transparent from the beginning, and then you as a female slowly work to being transparent, I feel like you feel more secure when that happens.
I beg to differ. And I feel, in my opinion, because like I said, this is not a one-size-fits-all world we live in. I'm listening to what you're saying, because you said did you ever do that? Like,
no, I'm saying for the man to do it, not the girl to do it.
For a man to do it. Have a man.
No, that's what I'm saying. I was like, if the man is telling me all his stuff, that's fine. But me, I would be working up slowly to getting being there.
I will find it peculiar that he out talking me. I will find it peculiar. And
well, some girls like that. Like, I'm the same as you. I don't want to hear you talking the whole time on a date, to be honest with you. Us sharing each other thing.
Right. Right, go ahead. Because here's the reason why.
But what she said was that, like, she also was speaking throughout the date. And she was having, like, it was one of her best dates, is how she explained it.
Yeah, but there was something that she regretted.
No, of course. I'm sure looking back on it, yeah. But then she said afterward that they ended up going into the car and then speaking for, like, a couple of hours after that.
Right. And then look at the song that he had on. Remember what she said? That it was John Legend.
It was the John Legend. Yeah. The Marry Her song.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I totally forgot about that until you said that. Because like I'm listening to it and it's like 12 in the morning and I was like, wait. And then like that part I was listening to with Brennan and he's like, what the hell is this? Like I'll listen with you. He's like, maybe I'll give you a male perspective, but then he couldn't sit through and listen to all of it.
He probably said, what the hell is going on here?
He's like, why is she talking so much?
Oh God, I would love to hear a male perspective on this stupid. We gotta
no, he couldn't. He didn't listen through all of it anyway. He gave up after
like 20 minutes. What the hell? Woo! Girl, Reesa, girl. I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot.
No, he's just like, why is she recounting everything? He's like, why do I need to know this? I was like, babe, we're trying to work up to what the main issue is. I was like, this is why I didn't ask you to listen to this.
Because he probably said, it's a lot. It's a lot of info. It is. It was a lot of info.
No, it was a lot.
It was a lot.
No, her audience is definitely not for males. I feel like her audience is female.
Straight female. Even some females was coming after her, though. It was like...
I'm sure they were, because we're notorious for attacking each other. That's what it says as a gender do.
Yeah. That's a whole... See? We got a couple of episodes that's coming up soon, y'all, that's going to break down how women come after women, okay? Heart body. You know? And I mean, it is like annihilating them. They inside. And I'm like, well, one thing is... That's
why when I watch reality TV and they say they're about to do a girl alliance, I'm like, no, you're not, because y'all about to come for each other first.
That's
you're
what it is.
You're going for each other first.
Yes. Like, this here took me back to that, what you just said, with the real reality shows. And I'm like, the reality shows just showing you what's going on in real life. Because this really happens, that there is an issue with women coming after women. You know, it is what it is. I mean, I don't mean it
but
is
dudes
what it
do
is.
that too. They go after each other too. But I think the reality is because, like, you know your gender.
Right.
So it's easy to critique something you know. It's hard to critique something you don't know.
True. Okay,
so like when you come from another woman, it's because you've probably been in their same situation. You're like, girl, you should have known better.
Okay, but who are you to say that though? You get
but I'm saying that's where it probably comes from. Because
right.
you probably your reasoning is probably more similar to what they are.
Right.
For a dude, as a female, it's hard to put yourself in the same place because you don't have the same mentality.
Right. But I still say, who are you to say that? Cause okay.
No,
so,
I agree with you. I don't think it's great to do that on a platform. Go for each other and say one thing and then do the opposite.
Right, and then you tearing them down. Like, what the fuck? I'm
That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
You might as well keep it a buck and say that you was never fucking with her.
Right.
Like, let's keep it real.
Like, y'all just, exactly, because all you doing is throwing salt, and that salt is burning like an MFer in that wound.
Exactly.
In the wound. It's like, y'all taking people to hell. Y'all ain't going to stay up on the land. Y'all going to hell with this shit. You know, and
No, that's why you're killing me, because I'm just like, you just said something 1 second ago.
Yeah.
And you literally did the opposite of what you just said. And then you want me to be siding with you.
Right.
When you was already all the way wrong.
Right.
But then I'm the crazy one and you're the crazy one because we see that.
Right. It's just, Mind
That's why
boggling.
we say we see each other,
We
right,
see
Kim?
each
That's
other.
why we say
We
that.
feel like my girl. Shout out to Nene Leaks and Candy Dearest Tucker for that. There was classic for that. No. We see each other. Okay? We see each other. And that's the truth. They ain't lie. That's a buck. That's a whole
like
word.
the best quote ever. It's so relatable.
It is. We see each other. And it's true because I know you as a woman and you know me as a woman. So I know what to go for. And if I want to take you to hell, I could drag you on the shit because I know you. You understand? And I know what will make you tick. You understand? And that's the truth. That's the truth. While they taking you to hell, you like, okay, I'm going to get on something I'm gonna annihilate her. And that's what they're gonna.
No, that's why my father-in-law laughs at me, because, like, obviously my mother-in-law's never had a daughter, so, like, certain things she says to the boys, and the boys can't think of a response quick enough. Mm-hmm. So then me, because I'm a female, I snap back just the same as her. Mm-hmm. So then, like, we laugh at each other because she's not used to it. I'm just like, but you know I'm going to do the same thing you're going to do, so why even do it in the beginning?
Yeah, right. I mean, it gets petty, it gets petty. That's why I said I don't vibe on
never
the
petty. It's just hilarious to me. I'm just like, I'm going to be just as petty as you, and that's why we're going to laugh about it, because we know we see each other.
That's why I be like, for me, I be like, I refuse to ride on the, and it's a selective few, but I refuse. I'm clearing my throat just in case they listening. I refuse to ride on the petty and catty train. Especially, we already did this. We already grown. Right, we grown now. Like, what you're not going to do, okay, is take me on that. Don't do that. Don't take me on the petty and catty train. Because guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to derail the bitch. That's what I'm going to do. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. I know. I'm sorry, Audie. We're getting raw on here. Yeah, right. You understand? I'm dead serious.
So why you don't have both of us together all the time? There's too much energy going on right now. And a lot of laughter.
It is. Because you gotta, it keep you from blowing. You understand?
Damn right, girl. Damn right.
Let me tell you, we go through it as women. Now, I know Reesa, Tessa, if you hear me, girl, okay? If you hear us or hear, we salute you because you told your story. You was very transparent with it, okay?
No, yeah, I love the fact that she took account. Well, let me finish retelling what it is before we say that.
Good.
So then, I was at the part where they just had the Cheesecake Factory date. She told me that they met in, like, March. This is pre-COVID. Mm-hmm. And then 2 weeks or so, they were talking consistently, and then Georgia was about to start lockdown. So she was talking about how she didn't want to be alone for the COVID lockdown, and she was talking with, whose name is what, Legion is his name?
Mm-hmm. Almost choked.
Also, can we just say something though? Legion is a comic book character, if anyone follows Marvel, who is known for having a personality disorder. That's his power, that he takes on the personality of multiple different humans, and then he takes that power. So, I don't know. So when I heard the name, that's where my brain went automatically. So I was like, okay, so that right there, my automatic reaction was, okay, so he has like a personality thing.
There it is.
Damn,
sis. Yeah. Damn, we did that research. Yes, sis. Oh, sorry, y'all. Go ahead.
So right when she said that, I was like, okay, that's a red flag, and she must be really smart to have made that connection. Mm-hmm. So she was saying how she didn't want to be alone for the COVID lockdown. So she went to his house because she's seen where he lives, but he lived in a studio apartment. And he told her that, I'm only here temporarily because I work with a condiment company and I'm regional sales, and there's a lady there who's trying to find a home placement for me. So then he showed her like the email that she was looking for a realtor for him to find a home. So she was just like, okay, so then maybe you come stay with me. And she already was renting a home that was a pretty, like, a lot bigger than where he's living. So she said in the video that, like, that is part of her regret, that she suggested that he come stay with her. Also, just a background on Reese is that she's a very, like, religious woman. So she's, like, of the principle that if there's a male living with her, then she wants to be married for that to be the situation. In this case, that did not happen, and that was also because of lockdown, and she didn't want to be alone and whatnot. So he ended up coming and living with her, and they were together. And then he was talking about how he really wants to marry her, and that's where we were staying with the whole John Legend song.
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
One thing we forgot too, I don't know if, I think I mentioned it because I set this up for them. Remember she said she regretted talking about the exes, like their ex relationships?
Oh, yeah. She did mention that.
And do you remember the reason why?
She said she regretted it. Well, that's part 2, though.
Oh.
So do you want to go into part 2, or do you want to do only part 1?
We can do both. Don't matter. Go.
Okay, so part 2 is episode 17 all the way to 32.
Yeah.
So part 2, she basically talks about how in part 1, she brought up the fact that, like, she brought up her exes, and she asked him about his ex, because he told her that he was married previously, and he got divorced, and that's why he moved to Georgia.
Can I have a question? Because
yes.
I know the audience like, damn, this is a lot. But I'm glad we're breaking it down like this. You know, I'm loving it.
Yeah. So, like, the reason... Oh, yeah, go ahead, Kim.
I got a question for you. Not only you, Feezy, but for everybody. And please, put it in the comments. We're going to put this on YouTube, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely.
All right. Listen. Would you talk to somebody that you just met? Because I know I'm going to probably get different responses from this about your past. And is it...
Not on a first date, never.
Okay. But would...
Yeah, no, never on a first date, no. That's like date, like, number 5.
You know? Me, I think it's taboo. And I know y'all like, what you mean, kid? I think...
No, I'm with you on this. Go ahead, explain it, Kim.
I think it's taboo to talk about your past relationships, because if y'all get into an argument, let's say, you know, the honeymoon period be over within between 1 and 3 years, hunty, okay? Because after that, you're still together. You're on your 4th and your 5th year, okay? Sometimes y'all have arguments. It's not always gonna be rainbows and Care Bears all the time, okay? In a relationship. Right.
Yeah.
My thing is, I don't want nobody bringing up anything in the past with me in the argument. Cause see, then you going low.
No, cause that's not. So remember how we spoke about, like, having, like, constructive arguments?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, one of the rules of a constructive argument is, like, you stay on topic. You never go back to something that's happened previously or has nothing to do with the current reason. Because if you do that, then you're just going down a black hole. Doing it that way. And that's spoken from personal experience. Then it never helps.
And believe me, exactly. And I'm coming to you. Yo, seriously, I agree with you, Feezy, 100%. Because all you just did, you just starting, you lighting that match. You are lighting the match. You are lighting the match. When you bring up somebody's past in an argument, you're lighting the match. You're lighting the match.
But then you also let that person know that you never got over that issue that you told them that you did.
Yeah. And then,
so right there, in a way, you're telling them that you lied to them.
Yeah.
When you said you were done with it, you weren't really done with it.
No, you wasn't. You wasn't. Let me ask you a question. I don't want to derail because this have a lot of it's a lot of familiarities with this. So I don't know if y'all guys watch Love and Marriage of Huntsville, but
I haven't watched that show yet.
I want you to check it out. From season
I'll watch
1.
it because you know I'll be watching reality
from
TV.
season
So
1. Shout out to my girl Melody Hope. Shout out to Carlos King. I feel like
Carlos King is a great speaker.
Carlos, you hearing this? We giving you your Listen, we can merge, baby. We can merge.
I could definitely be considered a raindrop.
Yes.
Right,
I love it. No, Carlos, if you hear Carlos, hey, baby, if you hear me, you need to take Reesa Tessa underneath your wings and put her on your network.
God, I would love to
You
see
need
that
to take her underneath your wings. Like, she's a terrific storyteller. I'm telling you, but it's telling her life. You know, real talk. You know, so that's a plug. That's a plug. But what I was gonna say is it put me in the mind of Martell. Shout out, Martell. It put me to the mind.
After clearing the throat. Okay. If you don't know, that's when Kimberly Ann comes into play.
Yes, like, this man reminds me of him a little bit. And what they got in common is definitely manipulators and narcissists. Big time. Now, I know, according to psychologists, psychiatrists, all my fellow psychologists, psychiatrists, counselors, shout out to Sarah, y'all meet her soon. Like, let me tell y'all something. All my mental health partners, because that's the road that I'm heading on. Right, easy. Okay, and soon I'll be a licensed life coach. There's another plug. But anyway, but what I'm saying is, sometimes we take words and make it into our own meanings, right? But I would like to get somebody on here eventually soon. I'm working on it as we speak. That will tell you what narcissism is. We're on the right track, but I want you to hear it from a professional level.
Oh, like the definition from like the, what is it they call it, the D something?
The D, what, DSM?
Yeah, there you go,
yeah.
DSM.
And, yes, Miss Kim knows. Yeah, I'm crazy, though. Kim B is crazy as hell. But, I'm very
That's the damn truth, but in a good way.
Yes, right. Thank you. But I'm well-versed. So if I become a doctor, I'm not going to say if, when I become doctor.
Yes, girl, when.
The real Kim still will be here for you guys. I will never change. You understand? I want to put that out there.
She'll just have more politically and medically correct terminology.
Let's go. And I could go there right now, but I don't want to because I don't want to go into it and break down.
Because you already burned people, Kim, without going there. Now, if you have the medical terminology underneath that, people are just going to be lit everywhere.
I know.
And I don't know if people got fire extinguishers for all that. Like,
Exactly. Listen. Oh my God.
Your son's gonna be like, Miss Hafiza, come get her.
Yes, please. Please, you're gonna be lighting it up. Boom. Like, let me tell you something. I'm telling y'all, I'd rather, and for me to say that is because as a student, as a psychology student, okay? I'm gonna tell y'all something. I want y'all to get, and I've spoken with Feezy about it. I have had a conversation with my team about it, with Caroline and Evangeline about it, and they agreed with me. That it's good to get somebody on here too, so that way y'all have the proper meaning.
A reference.
Right, a good reference.
Like what to look for.
Right. Because I think that we all need to see it. I know we want to go out and see guys, and y'all know I joke around, but underneath the joke is a little serious because I do like tall guys. Yes, I am. I'm very attracted to it. But
no legions out here.
No. See, any legions out there? Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all know now with the backup family that I got, and one of them is right here.
We don't play those games.
We don't play those games.
Red flags. So quickly, your head would turn.
Right. See, then y'all finish. You understand? Y'all be finished before you even start. Okay, so y'all will be annihilated right at the door. Bye.
You know, but also, Kim, I feel like this is because we're also New York women.
You know what?
If we grew up in Georgia, I feel like we'd be more, not to seem like Georgia women can't, but I'm just saying, us as New York women, we just, in general, already are pretty dated in how we give a guy a chance.
I would like to have a discussion about that, because some people feel a certain way when we say, where we represent from. And I touched on that a little bit. I don't know if whoever was listening to my episode, go back to my episodes because you'll find it. I would say shout out to Chicago. Shout out to everybody around the world, because everybody got something about them because of the environment that they was raised in. So when we say...
No, 100%, because we're in a big major city. That has a lot to do with, like, how you interact and how you see things. Like, if you compare a kid, for example, who's grown up in a preschool in New York compared to a preschool, let's say in Texas or like Florida, the way the kids interact and how they are, like just mental age-wise, is very different because of their environment they've grown in.
And we can have a discussion about that, because I know y'all gonna be like, well, who the fuck they think they are? So I know,
True.
And it's true. And let me tell you, I got friends all over. Trust and believe. I got friends all over. My cousin right now, she's from New York, but she's living in Atlanta. Shout out to my girl Ash. I love you, boo. Talk to you later. But what I'm saying is that she will even agree. She's from Harlem, from New York.
Yeah,
born
no,
and
because
bred.
because if you grow up in a suburb compared to growing up in a city,
Talk to them.
I know it from like I grew up in the Bronx first, and then I moved to a suburb.
Right.
So like the way I grew up talking in my elementary school was very different to the kids who grew up their whole lives in a suburb. So like you could tell automatically that I wasn't from this area, just because I was more aware of things growing up in a city.
Right. And some people come after us because they be like, well, y'all look where y'all come from. You know, y'all come from the hood. Not everybody come from the hood, sweetie. I'm here to tell you. And let me tell you something. We're going to talk about that too, because I don't want to sway off on what we're talking about. But there's different definitions to hood. Okay?
Oh, hell yeah.
There's different levels to this shit. And I'm here to tell you, it's different levels. You got the hood.
Oh, no, sis. You know how, like, I'm just sorry, but I have to say this. So, like, I was watching, I was telling Brennan, like, we were on Peacock, and they had, like, Flavor of Love, right?
Yeah.
The first season. So I was like, yo, let's play that first episode. And then you could tell the difference, because you had white women out here saying, oh, they're so ghetto. Right. I was like, she couldn't say that today. I was like, you could never say that today. You don't even fall into the terminology of ghetto.
Yes.
I'm just like, oh my god.
I'm like, what? Yeah, you can't say that now. What? Oh my god, you can't. You can't even.
No, I really challenge people to watch shows that were like, from that generation of time.
Yes.
Because then the way it was, how like reality TV was filmed then compared to how it is now, it's like vastly different.
It is. It's huge. It had a huge turnaround. Like, yeah, it's totally different. It's totally different.
So that's for people to be like, oh yeah, you're so hood and you're so ghetto. I'm like, no, sweetie, you really don't know what that word or term means.
You don't. And I have to, and I want to say one more thing with that, because that's a whole nother episode. And we're going to touch back on this. Remember, there are people.
And if she's on audience, you call her out on it. You say, yo, Kim,
let's go.
We're going to talk about
we're going to talk about, no, because you know me, I'll be like, yo, let's talk about that, because it's the truth. Like, we talking about real shit. What I'm saying is, people that come from what they call low-impoverished areas became judges, doctors, neuroscientists.
Of course, yeah.
Okay? So, but the one thing about people, like a person that may have grown up in the neighborhood like that, or just in the city, period. I'm going to say that, because things happen all over. It's not just in low-impoverished areas. Things are happening all over, okay? both in urban communities and in the suburbs. So don't sit there, because I could go in on the suburbs. The gay population is on a rise in the suburbs.
Yeah.
It's been on a rise, especially in the South. We could go there. And how people like to sniff on paint cans and shit. We could go there. We could go there.
We get diverted on the topic, though.
Oh, sorry. But what I'm saying is, I just want to say is, no matter where you come from, a lot of people, well, you are a product of your environment. Maybe on the inside, okay? Because there's a lot of people that became, like
definitely.
I said, that has succeeded, that did not want to be a part of their environment and became really successful in their own rights, okay? In their own rights.
Your environment, you should always use that to your advantage.
Right. And with cities, and the reason why some people might get mad, I'm just, in my opinion, at New York Women is because we are both book smart and street smart. And when you both book smart and street smart, I'm putting it out there and I want y'all to all listen. When you both book smart and street smart, you are something
please be both. Don't be one or the other. Don't be one or
the other. You are something to be reckoned with. Trust and believe.
And that's why most people get upset with that title.
Right. And I'm happy to say, and I'm going to put it out there, I'm both book smart and street smart.
And pretty on the outside.
Thank you,
so
Mom.
We're not calculating that. She got that great skin, guys. She's her skin in the face.
I was telling them that I might do a little dating thing. I don't know. We'll talk about that. Like a little...
All right, let's say I'm
okay,
now. She's like, we don't even care about her.
Reesa, I'm sorry, girl. Reesa, you are more than welcome to come on our platform too. You're more than welcome. It's an open door for you, Reesa. Okay,
yeah,
Queen.
I'm very curious to see.
Yeah, I would love.
God, have I been saying her name wrong?
Yeah, it's Reesa, but I don't know if we say Tessa the right way. Is it Tessa or Tessa?
I think it's Tessa.
Tessa?
But that could be Old English. That's
right.
how usually say it.
Okay.
Yes. I'm going to say RT, just to keep it safe.
She is the queen, hunty. She is the queen. I want to shout out to her, but we're going to go down the path with you, okay? And we're going to try to relay the message out there to spread the word to everybody. Be careful of dating narcissists. If you see a narcissist, you have to...
Kim's been preaching that for years now. That is like Kim's line of all. Watch out for narcissists.
Watch out, please. I can't... And manipulators. And and definitely pathological liars. Let me tell you something. There's a saying. Where there's a liar, there's a thief. Okay? Where there's a liar, there's a thief. Because let me tell you something, if he can lie to you, he's also going, or she's also, because it happens in both. This is not just a woman thing. I mean, a woman experiencing with the man. No, men is going through it too. There are women that will do that. Shout out to my girls, but we got to keep it a buck. It's pros and cons and everything.
Of course, always.
And I'm still woman power, but what I'm saying is that we gotta be, if we're gonna have conversations, we gotta keep it a buck. We have to keep it real straight across the board.
And that's our New York coming out right there. Keep it a buck.
Keep it a buck. Oh my God, Listen, but I'm just like...
People who don't know what that means, keep it a buck means keep it transparent, keep it 100.
Sorry, y'all. But it's the truth. It's the truth, y'all.
That's our environment right there.
Yes, I'm sorry. I know the psychologist and the psychiatrist like, oh Lord, we got a hot one coming on board. But you know what? I just feel that we have to protect ourselves at all costs, right? And like I said, this falls definitely underneath the category that we are represented, which is mental health, and trying to, establish a good or a healthy mental mindset. She's telling her story. She's putting out
we should all definitely try to pick each other
right.
up. And I love the fact that even though we've derailed from what the conversation is right now.
Right, we went all the way off.
That, she basically is trying that, you know, we're always taught basically from the beginning, usually from another woman, that, you know, if a man is purchasing you nice things, he has money, he's paying for you for all these things, that usually that means like this is the person you want to marry. This is what we've been like hearing our whole lives.
Yeah.
I'm sure a majority of the women have heard this, and I'm sure many can relate to this.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, just because they have monetary gains doesn't necessarily mean that they have anything to offer you on an emotional standpoint, and then also from the point of view of trust.
That's a whole one.
Because, you know, everything can be smoke and mirrors. And, like, I also say this and can relate to her, not on my personal story, but I have a family member who is going through, basically she had just gotten divorced after being married for 18 years, has 3 children with this man. And, she ended up finding out, like, well, let me break it down before I continue ahead. The last 5 years of her marriage, she had been telling people that, you know, he's cheating on me. You guys don't know the type of guy he is. That he, like, abuses me and all these things, and that all he does is buy me nice things. But then everyone complains that I only use him for his money. So she had gone to his siblings and told them, like, you know, all these things that he does, and everyone basically gaslit her. His siblings and said, like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. He provides such a good lifestyle for you. You're always buying things. Like, you don't do anything else. And all these things she had to hear. And then come to find out, after they did get divorced, he literally just got remarried yesterday. And they haven't even been divorced a year yet. Then to come to find out that he ended up having an affair for the last 5 years with a woman that was married to one of his so-called best friends. She had been married to this friend for 30 years. And he had been going to his friend's house the last 5 years, complimenting his wife and doing all these things. First of all, I don't know why a man would let any friend come into their house and talk about their wife, but that's a different situation. But he came in and basically had manipulated everyone to believe that his wife was crazy. That she is the one who's seeing everything that doesn't exist. Even though she had been saying for the last 5 years, I think my gut's telling me something's wrong. So now she's like, post being married 18 years, like obviously brokenhearted beyond belief that he just moved on so quickly. But then the part that killed me was that like she has no value for herself. She really believes that like, you know, all her value is based upon the fact that that she was married to someone who had money. And then she blames her mother now and says, oh, like, why did you marry me off to someone like that who was so wrong? But I was like, but how would someone have been able to predict that? 18 years later compared to what they were in the beginning. But like, she ended up, but like, that's what I'm saying. Like, everyone was so astounded with his wealth. And this is what I keep saying to people. Like, you don't have to marry someone only because of their monetary gain. One of the beautiful things about being married is like when you start off together in the gutters, you appreciate everything that you get later in life. If you start off always on the top, then that person who's been there with you, I feel like you'll never really value them the way it would have been if they had helped you build to the top. So when she's talking about how like he's doing all these things for her, like one of the things she talks about in her TikTok is how when he moved into her place, he took over all her bills. He was paying her rent, he was paying the utilities and everything, and all she took over was the expenses for her car, let's say. And like she basically was like, okay, I can put up with things because, you know, he's taking care of me technically on a monetary level. And I'm sure a lot of women can relate to that.
Right. But wrong move at the same time.
No, of course.
Yeah, wrong move, girls. Wrong move. Because I used to think that way. Like, I used to say, it would be great to find somebody that, let me get a break from, being in the lead and let somebody help me, pay. But the question, then you have to question that and say, am I getting in a relationship just because of that? As far as monetary means? Or am I getting in a relationship because I really love this guy? Not for what not only being there for me financially, but which is just a small part of a relationship.
Yeah. But also mentally and physically, there's so many things that come with that.
Right.
It's not just he's paying my bills. You can also do it where you split together. There's nothing wrong with that. But if he's paying all your bills, but then he's giving you nothing else, then you're not really getting anything.
No, I agree.
But then also, I speak from a point of view of someone who wants those things in marriage. There's some people who choose to get married, and the only thing they want is the financial stability.
Right.
So I can't speak for them. I can only speak for that part of the population.
I would like to know that, though, seriously. Is a person out there only got with a person because of finances? I mean...
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I know probably that's what... Listen. You see me stumbling on that one because there are people that get with people like me. I mean...
think about a sugar daddy relationship, right?
Yeah,
you with this man because he's giving you things that you want. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's all you have to do. Just look pretty on his arms and he's paying out for you. You don't gotta do nothing else.
Mm.
You live your life, go about your day, and it's fine.
That's what
but I said, that's something both people have to be wanting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But in her case, she wants, a husband. She came into the whole idea of, him living with her because she sees this man being her husband.
And I want to, can I get in on that?
Yeah.
What you just said was a whole word. She came in it because she wants the husband, the family, everything, the whole part of being married. That's what she wanted, right? And that's on her agenda. See, people got different agendas with things.
Of course.
With him, he wanted the whole thing, but he had an agenda.
He definitely had an agenda.
Okay.
The part that we haven't even spoken about is the red flags started coming in for her.
Right.
Because because remember when I said earlier that he said he was only in a small apartment because he was looking for a house.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So the part that this is when you start seeing where things are going left for her is while they're living together, they decide to go house hunting and get a realtor and everything.
Right.
So they're seeing homes. The first home that they saw, and like I said, the word first. The first home that they saw, she liked the home a lot.
Yeah.
And he showed her a piece of paper saying that he was pre-approved for $750,000 through Chase to do a mortgage. So he told her, told her that, I have a lot in my savings because I was a football player. What was the other title? The
IT tech. He was a regional manager.
No. The type of football that he played.
Arena football. Arena football.
There you go, arena football. So he's saying that he had all of that money saved away, and that he had it in separate saving accounts and an offshore account. And if you're smart, you know that a bank can only promise you back $250,000 in savings. So that's why it's always agreed upon, or if you're saving money, that you're supposed to do it through multiple banks. So if they end up going under, they're required to give you back the $250,000.
Can I say one thing with the paperwork?
Yeah.
Anybody could fix up a letterhead.
Yep, that's what I wanted to say.
Anybody could do it, and that's why.
And people became experts at it during COVID.
Oh yes. Anybody could fix that. Because you look at it and be like, well, it has to chase, remember what she said, it has to chase, symbol and all that on there, right? Okay, it's a Chase symbol. Okay, it's showing me the paper is from Chase. Anybody could go to a printer shop and just make a copy of it and just readjust the words on there.
Yep. That's definitely true. That's why you have to follow through and call up. But anyway.
Yep. Boom. There it is. There it is. And she's going. And Phoebe is about to get to that part. Go ahead, Phoebe. Take it away.
So before we get to that part, so they did the house stuff together, and she liked the house a lot. And the realtor, she basically said she wants to make an offer for it, and he said, I'll put down a huge down payment. And she was like, oh, okay, because she's assuming he has all the money based on the paper that she saw. So once they got back home, the realtor was reaching out to her because usually they'll call back the person who looks the most interested. In this case, it's her because she really wants the house. So he called her and was asking, oh, are you still interested? And she's like, oh, but he told me that he put money through and that, it's under contract. And the realtor was saying, oh, really? I didn't know that. So she called Legion, and he said, he got upset, obviously, and was just like, oh, why did you do that? Why is he reaching out to you? That seems so unprofessional. And then he tells her, oh, I dropped him as a realtor. I went with a friend of mine to give him the commission for the sale. And now we're just waiting to get basically inspections done on the house. So she then, because her gut obviously is saying something here, goes back to the website Zillow to see the house listing, and she sees it's under contract. So she's like, oh, okay, so he didn't lie to me. But she keeps getting these gut feelings that, oh, something's going wrong. And she's writing voice notes to herself about things because her gut is telling her something.
So in other words, here's another one. Think about it, y'all. Come ride this train with me. I'm getting gut feelings, or y'all getting gut feelings, right? That's your conscience is telling you something, okay?
That sounds very wrong.
Something is very wrong. That's why I always say, trust that feeling. Right. What will make us continuously just stay on the ride with the person? If I'm getting these gut feelings, wouldn't you say, hold it, something going on? I want to pull out.
Because once she's fact checking, it's coming back what he's saying. But she's not fact checking to the point. Well, this is the other thing that was confusing to me. Was that she worked with the state police. So she should have already been able, she should know how to dig deeper. When you have a feeling where something's not making sense, then you have more resources to be able to dig deeper. So that was where I thought it was but I feel like that was purposely her way of just being okay, he's taking care of me. What he's saying is checking out. I'm not going to push it further. Remember, because I'm still wanting him to be my husband.
And that goes back to when she first told him that she worked for the Georgia State Patrol. He was kind of taken back, and he was like, oh, so you work with a bunch of state troopers? That would have been a red flag. What you worried about? Oh, so you feeling nervous because I work in law enforcement? Why? What did you do?
But then he kept telling her that my father was in law enforcement to reassure her. And remember he was saying that his father was a retired cop?
Yep, in Philadelphia. Yep.
So that's how he was playing it. So then she basically, I'm sure all of you can tell what the end result was. That house never ended up being something that they got, because in the end, the real estate agent and everyone else was saying, can you show me the proof that you have this money? And he never would follow through on showing the proof. But she ended up basically figuring out, because he told her before anything else happened that, the sale fell through. Actually not even that. He didn't tell her the sale fell through.
No.
She saw on the website a listing that the house was taken off.
Yep.
Saying it was off market, even though he kept telling her it was under contract and people were just not coming by yet to inspect it because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Also, sidebar, she also found out she was pregnant at this point.
Good Lord, child.
So, while all this is happening, she's also pregnant. I'm sure, like, a high pregnancy is what she was saying.
Yeah.
High-risk pregnancy.
Mm-hmm. She was worried about her weight and stuff.
Yeah, of course, and health and everything. Which she should be, because, you know, like, every pregnancy is always something to be risk factor-wise about.
Yep.
Yeah, so then she went onto the website, and then she saw it said the house was off market, and she's like, oh, what does that mean? So she called the realtor for the seller, and they were telling her, oh, yeah, this house has been sold. And she's like, but it's under contract for my husband and I. Not married yet, her fiance and her. And she was like, oh, I sold it to a Caucasian couple. And she was like, a Caucasian couple? So she already found out that he lied to her at that point. Yep. But she said in the video, and this is where I appreciate her transparency, she said, you know, I knew at this point that he lied to me about being on contract. But I told myself that I'm going to let him lie to me here because I'm pregnant and he's taking care of all these things for me. And I'm just going to let him basically lie to my face about it. So she went home. And she already knew that they didn't get the house now at this point. And she's pregnant, obviously. So she tells him, so, like, what's going on with the house after he showed her an inspection report and everything. And he told her, oh, you know, like, the interest rate is, like, really bad right now for that house. So I'm having issues with my friend. And I think we just shouldn't go into the house. And she said, yeah, I think you should get your money back that you put down.
Now, I want to know one thing, ladies and gentlemen. Would you say something, or would you do what she did? Just say, okay, let's just ride it out. You know.
I would have blocked the person so quick after that. I'd be like, you need to get out of my house.
That part.
Like, there is no ifs, ands, or buts.
Nah.
Like, you straight up lied to me with multiple people in this situation.
Thank you. I would have did the same thing. And I know.
No, but yeah, that's what I think is crazy.
Right. Like, that was a huge lie that he did. That was very huge. Because to me.
Yeah, it wasn't a minor one.
No, that was a huge one. And let me tell you something, y'all. And sis, let me tell y'all something. With that alone, this is why other things was transpiring throughout the relationship, you know, because he probably
because she ignored a big one.
Right, and he probably saying to himself, well, I got away with that one, so I can get away with others.
No, 100%, yeah. And the thing was, is like, at that point, you just see for her mentality that, like, she was blinded at this point with the fact that he was taking over the certain amounts of expenses and that he kept saying that he had a lot of money to take care of her.
Right. And I saw a commenter that said that is she only in this for the money? Because if y'all were, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I had the same thoughts because there's certain things that she keeps talking about that are monetary.
Right.
That would make people feel that way.
Right. And what do you feel about that? Do you think?
I think part of it is 100% the fact that, like, he had money to take care of her. But like I said, that's the thought process that most of us grow up with. Like, if you come from a traditional home, the idea is, like, you're supposed to get married to someone who's more financially stable than you.
And the man's supposed to supposed to be the provider.
But, like, that's fine. That mentality is fine if they're fact-checking it properly. But if a man is lying to you on a whole idea of a home sale, and, like, people are telling you, like, this is not true, and you already know it's not true, how are you still continuing with the falseness of it?
Right.
Like, that's the thing. But I also see it for her because, like, she's of the mentality, like, oh, I'm pregnant now. Which is also probably another reason for it.
I was about to go there. Right.
Yeah.
And the hormones was kicking in, okay, because she was in her feelings. You know, with women that are pregnant, our feelings is all over the place.
Especially in the first trimester. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, but then this is when I started feeling. But no, keep going, Kim, and then I'll say it.
I'm sorry. You know, like, and then that's where when I looked at it, I was trying to look at it from that perspective. I took it off the monetary, right? Because that's what, Cece is right. Because that's how we were raised. The man's supposed to be the provider. You know, he's supposed to take care of you no matter what you do as a female. That man's supposed to take care of you. That's how we was raised. You're right. But times change too, you know, but we get to that another time. My thing is that I took into consideration that she was pregnant. She went into the pregnancy already feeling guilty because of her religion. You know, she came from a religious-based background that you're supposed to be not doing things outside of wedlock. Like, you're not supposed to be playing house. Meaning living with the man. Right. You know, outside of wedlock. Y'all not even married. So she already felt a certain way about that because that's where that kick in, like, I know right from wrong. You know what I mean? And she knew that was wrong. That they was living outside of wedlock. They was playing house technically. You know, speaking. And then to throw the cherry on top of the cake, you got pregnant. You know?
That's exactly what happened to her.
And look at the timeline. She said March the 3rd. They was conversating. March the 7th. What happened? They went on a date. And they went in it, you know, stating what they looking for in the relationship. They was already talking about relationship. To me, in my opinion, Reesa, I'm not coming down hard on you, girl, because we all been there. Sometimes we like a person, right? And say, this is the person that I want to be with. So I'm going to claim him as my husband right now before anybody else take him. You understand? Meanwhile, back at the ranch, that's how you feel. That's your game plan. You don't know what his mindset is, and you don't know what his game plan is. And his game plan may not align with yours. So what happens is, us as women, it's natural. And I know a lot of us is like hard body, right? There are some women out here that's hard body, but we got to call it for what it is. It's innate. INNATE. It's innate. It's in us to be emotional, because that's what we are. Females, straight emotional.
It's true.
And no matter how we come off, yo, I don't do this, I don't do that, I'm tough, I'm that. It's you know what you fighting against? You fighting against what is already planted in you. That's what you're fighting against.
And it's okay to be emotional, but I mean, also give yourself some grace. You're also pregnant. Like, that's also like, we go through so many hormone things that like men don't experience the same thing we do.
No, not at all. And I think that she was a little, I don't want to talk for her, and I would never will. I would like to, I'm just going to say, maybe, who knows, I might get my dream answered. But I would like for her to come on our platform, because I want her to speak up for herself. But in my opinion, being that she's not here right now, as a person looking on the outside, because we all got different perspectives on this, okay? And I respect each and last one of them, because this is the way we learn. Because we can identify that maybe with ourselves, right? I just see a little bit of insecurity.
No, definitely. That definitely played a part in it. But also, like, for me, someone who just recently went through the whole pregnancy thing.
That part.
Especially in the first trimester, you feel so uncomfortable in your body.
Oh, yeah.
And you just already feel so insecure with, like, oh my God, does he like how I look? You know, I'm getting fat. I'm always crying. I'm so sleepy.
Yeah.
Like, you're going through all of that as an emotional roller coaster. But then on top of that, I'm sure it didn't help the fact that, she's going through all these things. She's also at, like, I'm sure her family was also, like, who's religious, is like, oh, aren't you going to marry him? And then she also said that, like, he he could quote all the Bible stuff to her, and that he grew up with a father who was a pastor.
Mm-hmm. So not only was he a police officer, he also was a pastor. Mm-hmm. That's it.
So I feel like all of that definitely plays a part in it, and I'm sure he manipulated her with religion in parts of ways that he did it.
Mm-hmm. He played on it.
Which sucks to say, because that's not something you ever want to think.
Mm-mm.
But yeah. So like that was. But the part that really resonated with me was like afterward, like all of this happened, and she told me that she had a miscarriage.
Yeah.
And like there was like no viable heartbeat for the baby, and then like people who don't know from my story, because I don't really share, because I haven't shared this on a platform, was like before I got pregnant with my baby now, I had gone through a miscarriage where I went through the same thing, where like they did an ultrasound and there was no heartbeat for the fetus. So she was talking about how they gave her the option of either just letting it naturally happen, or taking the pill, or getting a DNC. And I remember when I was in the same situation that I just said, you know what, just do the DNC, because I know there's no guarantee how long it'll take to pass naturally. And if I take a pill, because I've seen friends do the pill, that all of it will be removed from me. And she decided to go with the option of taking the pill. And, you know, like, that's already so painful at home. Like, you're passing everything out at home, and then that's also, you have an appointment afterward to see whether or not it's all clear. In her situation, she did have to get a DNC afterward, because not all of it had passed through. And then the part that really killed me for her was when she said that, like, he told me that, and if people don't know, as a female, when you go in for a DNC, no one is allowed with you. It's only you going into the clinic, and they're coming, and you go in, and then the nurses go in there and the doctors, and they basically clear you out. And then you under anesthesia while it's happening, and then you get put into the recovery room. Usually wake up in like 10-20 minutes, not even 10 minutes, maybe a couple of minutes, and then they get you up, and they have you in the room for like 40 minutes to an hour usually, just to make sure all the numbness is gone from your body. And then they make sure that there's someone there to come pick you up, because you can't drive at that point.
I can relate with you, because I got pregnant when I was doing chemo. Yes, people. I thought about sharing this online, okay? But maybe I can help somebody. I was going through chemo, and I could relate.
You're so brave, Kim.
Thank you, sis. Thank you.
Take your time, sis. Share with whatever you're comfortable with, and if you don't want to, that's okay too.
Thank you. I'm gonna say this: I identify with them, because when you go through chemo, the toughest thing is that you cannot carry through with the pregnancy, right?
Yes.
So I had a DNC, but I was up for mine. I was up.
Oh man.
I was up.
But you still remember all of it, right? The like feeling,
It's the uncomfortable feeling, and
it's traumatic.
It's
and this is the part that people don't talk about, and I feel like women should talk about it. It is traumatic on you, because you're going in, and if you don't have nurses that are like super sensitive to your situation,
right,
and then also like just the idea of like for her, because all three of us in this case had gone through a miscarriage. So like a lot of the time people who go into the clinic, and this is nothing on whoever chooses to do whatever, this is not a commentary on that, but when you're going through a miscarriage and there's nurses in the facility basically treating you like you're getting an abortion purposely because you don't want the baby, that really is like an awful, awful feeling. Because like you're going through the emotions of losing a baby, and their automatic assumption is, oh, you're just here because you don't want a baby, when that is not the situation. And then you're by yourself, so you don't have a support system.
That part. It was one of the most uncomfortable feelings that I experienced in my life. The nurses, God bless them, they knew my oncologist. God bless my oncologist. He's my ride or die to this day. No, I do not have
Great
cancer,
person.
but right, and Fifi shared part of that journey with me. I'm gonna say this. It was very uncomfortable, but I got through it, and the people that were there were very compassionate.
Yeah.
You know, so and
my recovery nurses, shout out to them, because they made everything better for me. If it wasn't for those women, I probably wouldn't have, like, I would have been like, fuck you to this hospital and clinic if it wasn't for them.
Yeah. And it wasn't nobody going through that. I know people got stories, and I said we all got. See, Fifi shared her story. Reesa shared her story. I shared a part of it. Reason being is in the field that I'm going into, I have to be a little bit transparent, okay? And I have to let y'all know certain things. And I want y'all to know too, you know, it's Reesa. You're not by yourself. You're not
no, definitely not. But in her case, the part that sucked was that she was by herself.
She was by herself.
So this is the part that I felt like at this point she should have let him go, is because, you know, she decided to stick with him because she was pregnant, and then she lost the baby. But then on top of that, he had told her for days that he was going to be there when she opens her eyes and he was going to pick her up. Yeah. He ended up not taking her to the appointment because he claimed last minute that he was getting a promotion at his job and becoming VP from being regional sales. And it was on the day of her appointment. So her best friend took her, and then he told her that, you know, with my new position, I get a secretary. So, like, they'll always be available if they see your number to come get me, so I know to come get you because you're my wife. Were they married at this point, or are they fiancés? Maybe still fiancés.
They was fiancés still. Yeah, they didn't get married yet.
Yeah, okay, so that my fiancé is calling, so, like, let me know and I'll come get her.
Right.
So the part that sucked was she was saying how, like, she was in the recovery room for 3 to 4 hours, which is not normal. Because someone's supposed to get you right after you wake up, after that 20 minutes usually.
Right.
So, like, the nurses and the doctors are calling him and no one can get through. They only get the secretary's number. And they said, you know, because of HIPAA reasons, you have to give the phone directly to him. Mm-hmm. So then he eventually got the phone call, and then he claimed that he was just stuck in traffic. So she was there waiting for him for 3 to 4 hours. Then on top of that, she also shares that, like, what she didn't know was that he spoke to her mom and aunt and told them that don't talk to her for the rest of the week. You know, she's just recovering, let me take care of her.
Ooh. How would your family people, Fifi, I know mine, was if some man came on there, and y'all not even husband and wife, mind you. Y'all just engaged to each other. Okay.
No, she said her family reacted horribly when
I know
said that
they did. And I
but
know
my
they
thing
did.
was but my thing is, like, she didn't get the phone calls because he was probably monitoring them, and from that point on, he's manipulating her.
Yep, sure have.
So I was just like, damn, girl. But, like, then he tried to recover for it, and this is why she forgives him every time, is because while she's recovering, he's waiting on her hand and foot now. After, like, all the things that he skipped out on. So then she forgets everything else that happened.
Yeah,
or chooses to get over it. And then you see the pattern happening again.
Yeah. Same pattern, y'all. Because they happen, believe me. And notice what Fifi said, the first house. Because
the first time.
That's the first time that's where I'm gonna say that's where it all began. The red flag.
Most definitely, because, like, from that point on, like, she's talking about how he's trying to get a house again. This time, he's trying to put down a full cash offer, and that he wants the sale done in 24 hours. With, like, the contingency of getting a basement done. That's fine, but to do a cash offer, first of all, no one does a cash offer for an asking price. Usually if you're doing a cash offer, you're doing below the realistic price, because a cash offer is what a seller looks forward to.
Now, I know some of y'all out there who didn't watch the whole thing. Like I said, I got up to 36. Y'all gonna see how this goes. Because the question is...
Yeah, like, we only listened to part 1 and part 2. We haven't got to part 3 yet.
No. Girl. My thing is... The question is, do we got money like this? That's the question.
Oh, yes, you do.
Cause...
You know, one of the reasons why a lot of luxury homes aren't accessible to people is because people from out of internationally purchase homes cash only.
But
that's also a thing in Islamic culture.
Right.
It's a part of our religion where you're not supposed to pay interest for anything.
No.
So the best way to do it is you're supposed to pay out fully for cash or you're renting it.
Right.
But interest for us is not allowed.
But
so,
you didn't get up to that part yet, though, sis. Question is, do he really got money?
That I don't know. I haven't got to that part yet. But I'm saying people do buy houses that way.
Oh, yeah, big time.
So that's what I'm saying.
Big time.
If they're doing that, the fact that you didn't even notice that, like, he's paying asking price, that don't even make sense.
That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. That didn't make any sense. And I'm quite sure she's looking back at it now saying, damn, I did a lot of shit that did not make sense.
Well, but she also didn't know. So
yeah,
this is the thing that he played on her.
Right.
That she doesn't know the information on this specific topic.
Right. And her emotions was really in there. She was knee deep.
No, yeah. Post having a miscarriage, oh my God. Like, you're at your worst emotionally at that point.
And I don't think she healed from that experience either. So that, you're going to have to throw that in there too, y'all, with as far as the consideration of why she carried on this long with this man for this. There's some,
of course.
Certain experiences or certain traumas that we have encountered in our lives. If it's not dealt with accordingly, it will carry on throughout the duration, until you make it stop, of the relationship that you're in, which is a narcissistic relationship. So those are things to take into consideration. Please stop jumping down her throat. I've seen some of the comments too, and they horrible.
No, yeah, we gotta be more sensitive because there's certain things like emotions she's going through. Yes, then afterward when she talks about like the cars and stuff and how like she kept saying how she wanted like a Mercedes, no, a BMW that she really wanted and that he didn't give her.
Right.
So once that happened, but like also I feel like maybe that was her way of coping, possibly. With like the fact that she just lost something and like the only person to blame is him.
And I'm gonna say this too, Reesa, you're not by yourself, baby girl, because there was other women that's coming out telling their story and they reaching out to you. And y'all get to that part. I would like to say too, it's not only Reesa, the other women that's being having effect over this with this gentleman, and I'm trying to be nice because I'm trying to be professional here, which is hard. What I'm saying is, I salute y'all ladies too, because y'all went through it too. Y'all went through the same thing that Reesa went through, and it was wrong, and I know that was a trauma. I mean, one of the ladies that I'm going to share with y'all, because we're going to do this in parts, right, Feezy? So, and down the line, not even down the line, it's right in the near future, I'm going to mention one of the other ladies that he was dealing with. I don't want to say messing with, dealing with. And it was so bad that she had to call the cops to get him out of her house.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of red flags. Like I said, once we get to part 2, we're still kind of part 1 right now.
Right. I just want to interject. Because just in case the ladies might be listening to our platform.
Oh, of course.
I want y'all to understand. I salute you because y'all coming out and y'all letting women know out here what to look for. Okay?
Don't stop telling your story because that's usually what helps.
Don't stop. I don't care if people come on here and say, well, you a clown too. If you calling her a clown, you a clown too. You worse than a clown. If you attacking
and also,
her.
Yeah, also I feel like why are we all pretending like not at some point not everyone has been catfished?
That part. Oh.
Everyone has been catfished at some point in life.
Yes.
There has to be one moment you had.
Whole entire word. And I watched that show. Catfish. Yes. How many?
I know I have been.
Me too. Me too. Me too. And it doesn't make you less than. It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It's just so easy nowadays. Honestly, like there's so many things that everyone's fingers tip.
Stop it. Like.
And what do you think is gonna be easier with AI in place now? Ooh, now it's gonna be even harder.
Yeah. Oh, say it again. Say that. Repeat that again, sis.
Sis, honestly, with AI now, like catfishing will be at a whole different level now.
Oh, it is.
And then you'll be looking at Reesa like, oh shit, girl, I see what you mean. And they'll be even a worse person than Legion you're dealing with.
I say this, okay? When I was growing up, look at me. I'm all old. I'm beginning to sound like my girl. That's one of my actresses.
My first 20, not my triple 20, my first 20.
Exactly. There you go, sis. I'm beginning to sound like Estelle Getty. Shout out to Estelle Getty. She plays Sophia on the Golden Girls. Love her. Yeah, that's my girl. Back in the day, back in 19 whatever, I love her. Follow me. I love Sophia from the Golden Girls. She was raw with it. She was raw with it, and I loved the way how she used to diss people. I loved it. I loved every bit of it. But anyway, back then, I say in 1980. I wasn't dating then. 1990, 2000s, right? I'm up there with y'all. I graduated from high school in 1993. So, yeah.
Yes, we don't gotta say all of our information.
I'm sorry. 1993. Yes. Not the 90s. I miss the 90s, though. I do. I miss because we ain't had to go through all this. It wasn't none of this.
That's what I'm saying. Technology is really the reason why all this is happening. It was none of this.
Like, I used to go out and meet y'all right outside. And I'd rather meet you in front of your face because body language tells the truth, actually.
Oh, you girls not telling a lie there. Amount of blind dates I went on, where the guy is so smooth online and then you meet them in person, I'm like, what's wrong with you?
It was no filters then. It was no filters. It was no, like, augmentation of your face, how you look. You look how you look. Okay? Your weight is your weight.
You get what you get and you don't get upset.
There you go. You get what you get and you don't get upset. It's not like, damn, sis.
If you're a teacher, you know exactly what we're talking about.
Yes. Like, knock it off. It is what it is. You see them? You see her? That's just the way they are. You know, body language, I'm telling y'all, because I'm going to talk about this. Body language tells a whole different story.
Tell you everything. That's why it's a universal language. You don't have to know the language to know what the body is telling you.
Because anybody, I know a forensic scientist, and she does this as a living. She goes to the courts, and she decides, that's how they make the determination of who's going to get custody of that child. Okay? And she focuses on body language. She doesn't focus on the words. She focuses totally on body language.
That's why people need to do more of that, because I swear kids would appreciate that way more.
Right. She focuses on body language, and it determines, because the child might be saying yes because the father probably told him, you better say yes or else I'm going to do this to you.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and so many kids suffer because of that.
Right. And I'm going to plug in a book. And this author who written a book, and she does this for a living, which is body language. Okay? And reads people's bodies. And I'm reading her book now, and maybe we can talk about it, down the line. it's important for everybody to know how to determine if that person is telling the truth through body
or
language.
lying, yeah.
You know, so I think it's a good thing to educate ourselves more on
No, we
body
should
language.
definitely leave it out here.
Yes.
And then we will definitely talk about part 2.
Yes. And I'm gonna put in you know, underneath this episode.
I will definitely have a link definitely added for my wedding thing if you're ever interested in seeing it.
Yes.
Definitely, I'm sure Kim is gonna link the TikTok stuff. So if you didn't see all the parts, part 1, then definitely go do that.
Yes.
And continue, Kim. This is your podcast, girl.
I know. I'm on. You gotta do it. Goodness, there's so much that we covered because there's a lot of parts to this. And she brought, and you know, thanks to her, she opened up the communication with everyone with things like this.
She definitely did.
We thank you, Reesa. We thank you, and the ladies also who had same experiences with this man. Okay, so we thank you.
And Reesa, if you want to come on this, definitely do.
Yes, please comment YouTube. Please tell them how important it is to like and subscribe on YouTube.
Yes, please like and subscribe. You know, we're getting people listening more through Spotify, but like if you like this type of content and you would also like to possibly see us like on a video format rather than just audio, then liking stuff on YouTube will definitely help.
Yes. And Spotify, it's important. It's very important.
Yes, follow, please share, do all of the great little things you do to get it across.
So that way we could continue to grow. You know?
Exactly.
So we could continue to grow. And then we could do other things. So, you know, the more we do it, maybe we can have meet and greets, you know, things like that. So
we want more of Kim.
Yeah.
We want more of Kim.
And yes, and you're gonna get more of me. You're gonna get more of my hosts, my co-hosts. You're gonna have them too, and because they're a part of this, you know. So we love them, you know.
Let me know if you heard this podcast. Put in the comments whether or not you find my laugh obnoxious or not. I'll know you listen.
And mine too, because me and her laugh together like, oh my god. And like, me and her, and Caroline too. Don't see murder in this because she be okay, whatever. If we laugh too much on here, let us know. But tune
in for part 2.
Right, tune in for part 2, and the links is gonna be there. All the links is gonna be there. I'm going to also link, because remember I was telling you guys on the last episode that I am going to promote small businesses, people that, in my opinion, that are talented to me, you know, and if y'all know any talented people, please put it in the comments because I want to get it out there as well. You know, let their names be heard. So in today's episode, I will be putting on a good friend of mine. She's a sister as well. She's selling candles. So look out for Ego candles, EGO candles. It smells so
yes,
good.
Look forward to it. She got great scent.
She got some great scent, you know. So we're gonna be promoting that as well on our podcast, okay? All right, y'all. It's been nice, Hafizi girl. It's a pleasure to see you back.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, and thank you for tackling this stuff with us about Miss Tessa. You know,
I look forward to being here for part 2.
Part 2. Look out for us for part 2. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. God, be safe out there. Don't let nobody get underneath your skin. Keep your head high. Keep that self-esteem high. Let's go. You are important, and you are kings and queens out there. Keep it in a buck. All right? Keep it in a buck. New York time. New York terms. Keep it in a buck. All right, y'all. Peace.